Hello everyone, it's Brittney from The Pretty Plus, and today I am doing my January budget review. I really liked this layout when I started it for December's budget review, and so I thought that I would continue using it moving forward. It's just a little more clearly laid out, and if you have questions about my budget spreadsheet, I have a blog post that's linked below, as well as a lot of videos that I've done in the past of me using it. I can always, pop in and share like a plan with me type of video if you're interested, but this gets the information to you in the most accessible way. So I thought that I would share. So this opening screen is just saying it's January budget review, and I will go ahead and get started. If you don't know who I am, my name is Brittney Mason. I sometimes look cute like this. Sometimes, most of the time, look like this with bun in my hair. I'm a digital marketer, content creator, mother, creative, and obviously much more. I lead my family of 5 with a modest Midwestern income. As far as our budgeting journey goes, we were working toward getting out of debt beginning in 2017, and we got out of debt in 2020. Almost 5 years later, we completely transformed how our family's finances and relationship with the outlook on money, relationship and outlook on money have been totally transformed. So I now am the go-to person in my friends and family to help them with just streamlining and making sure that the money that they have is being allocated to meet their financial goals, which ultimately end up being those like big life goals, right? We don't just make money to make money. We make money because we have dreams, and unfortunately, money is the way you gotta get there. So that's just about me. If you are interested in sticking around, I would love to have you. Be sure to subscribe so you see more videos like this. I post them monthly, as well as some other fun content like cook with me's. I'm trying vlogging. I've only done one, but I think it was okay. It wasn't great, but I'm trying, and I think it's fun. So it's interesting, and I think that it'll be cool to look back one day when my twins, who are 10 months old and 3-year-old, are older. It'll be cool to see them so tiny and what we were doing and how insane my life was. But in this video, I'm going to discuss our monthly fixed expenses, sinking funds, debts, variable expenses, income versus money spent, and our surplus allocation. So for our monthly fixed expenses, everything was the same except for our phones. And the reason why our phones were different is because we switched providers. So we switched from T-Mobile, which was cheaper, back to Verizon, which we only had T-Mobile for I think about 18 to 20 months. It was horrible service, and it was horrible. So in our area, T-Mobile service was despicable. So we switched back to Verizon. Seems to be going okay, and overall, it will cost us like $10 more a month because of the deal that we got on our phones. And honestly, I would pay $20 or $30 more a month as long as we keep getting better service. So hiccups. So the amount that's there is because we had to pay off our phones. They do like the weird leasing thing now. We had to pay off our phones, and then there was like a cancellation fee or whatever. Verizon's supposed to be paying that back to us, and I think it's going to be like making our bills even smaller. I'm not exactly sure, but that's the plan. So we paid $456 for that. Mortgage was $680. Car payment was just my car. Brett, we don't have one on Brett's car. It's $360. Internet $66. Hulu and Paramount Plus are the streaming services we pay for. Doesn't mean it's the only ones we use, guys, but it's the ones that we pay for. $18 a month. Daycare is this, I explained it a lot in the last video I did, but in Indiana, there's and I'm sure in a lot of states, there's just this government thing where you can apply and get basically a grant. And so we are paying very minimally for daycare, and it's been a huge blessing to our family because, daycare is expensive. So $289 is what we put back. We save. So in January, we saved for February. So $289 is what we're paying for February. And then in February, we'll save everything and just pay upfront for March. And then our allowances, Brett and I each got $100. Sinking funds. I also talk a lot about this in my previous videos, but we set aside a certain amount per month for specific goals that we have, money goals. So insurance is just that we save monthly $125 to pay for our insurance. For a yearly discount, we get a discount for paying for it all up front. Our travel sinking fund is pretty small because it's just for travel to visit family and other small trips that we have coming up. We actually have a couple of road trips coming up that will be more than that travel fund. But I think we're just going to fund it with like tax refund money, I think. I'm not exactly sure, but we've got room to work with it. And then gifts, that's the fund that we have, $75 a month, set aside for gifts for birthdays and holidays for our close family and friends. And then the Mason fund is $150 a month, and it's for all the gifts and celebrations for our immediate family, plus a museum membership for the year. So that's pretty fun. Our debts are that we pay monthly $50 from our HSA toward hospital bills. And I didn't update this because I didn't feel like going and looking for it, but it's around $860-ish for Claire's bill and $4,500 for mine. And then we still have our bill, like we still have the $10,000 that we owe for our basement waterproofing, but I haven't paid it yet. We have the money saved, so I didn't have to put anything toward it. We just have, first of all, we're having issues with it, so I'm not paying it. And second of all, we have to have it all redone. Second of all, we have 0% interest promo through August, so we'd rather keep the money in our account so that it's earning interest while that's going on. We'll probably pay it off in June or July, but we have the money, so it's not a big deal. Variable expenses. Did I go over or did I save this month? Let's see. So the first one is $300 for project is what we projected for groceries. And we spent $860. First of all, I've talked about this before, but the price of groceries is insane right now. I think that almost everything that's like a regular consumable in our life, the price has gone up by like $1. If it's like around the $2 to $3 mark, it's now the $3 to $4 mark. And that has tacked a lot of money on for us. This specific instance is that we kind of knew that some things were coming up, like snowstorm and a bunch of other crap, like inflated prices, there being nothing left on the shelves at stores. So I kind of stocked up on things that I probably wouldn't have yet if it were any other time. So we went to Sam's Club, and I think we spent $360 at Sam's Club alone. So knowing that, we knew the Sam's Club thing was coming up like later in the month, we decided to do it. The $500 for the rest of the grocery also includes random crafts and like anything I could buy at Walmart, because I didn't separate it out because I just don't have the time anymore. And since we aren't like in debt, we're not tracking things like where they go so closely. So I'm just like, whatever. We spent money at Walmart. I'm not going to separate it out and say this was grocery, this was like household, this was things that we didn't actually like really, really need, but like we kind of did. I can't be bothered. So if it's from Walmart, if it's not like a trip that I'm like going to buy gifts or something specifically for the kids, then F it. I'm just putting it in the grocery and I'm going to account for that. Probably make it $400 or $500 a month that I put in there instead of the $300. So just letting you know. The next one was projected utilities. I projected $350 and we spent $414. Can't really do anything about that. That's just the way the cookie crumbles. It's been pretty cold. Yeah. And we also now have like a sump pump in our basement with a lot of rain. So I think that might be a situation as well. The next one is that we projected $150 for restaurant budget, and we went over by a lot of money, $254. However, I don't regret it. Brett and I, we probably wouldn't have gone as far over, but Brett and I went on date night, and we got sushi, and that was pretty expensive. And then we also had my birthday dinner, and we had, lunch. I think we did a lunch. And it was so fun. We took the kids to a Mexican restaurant, and they were just so good, and it was just such a good time. But it was a little more than we would typically spend too. And then, yeah, I think that's about it. And then like obviously like $10,000 worth of Taco Bell every month. Anyway, gas for our car, I projected $300, and we did not go over. $217 is what we actually spent. That's because I hardly leave the house. Because I work from home, I take the kids to daycare, and that's like 2 minutes down the road. So it's not a huge deal. It's nice to not have to spend that much for gas. The price of gas also went down some. Anyway, I projected $50 for kid expenses, and I only spent $40. That's North, if you heard the cat. So that's pretty good. It was Goodwill stuff. We bought a bunch of clothes from Goodwill and a pair of shoes for $40. So actually, it was 2 pairs of Vans, and then a ton of clothes for the twins and a couple things for Clara. I'd say Goodwill was a success this month. So projected lawn and home was $93, and it ended up being $193. $93 is our Terminix bill from having when we had termites, and now we have they have to for a year have to come out and do all the treatments and stuff at $93 a month. And then the 100 comes in because we hired a babysitter for date night, and she was at our house for I think 9 hours with just the twins, and they were obviously asleep for more than half of that time, but paid her $100. So yeah, that is that 2 out of 7 categories we were under, but it is what it is. Our income versus what we spent. So we estimated spending just a little under $3,500. We actually spent almost $5,000, which is crazy. Our total income was $5,850, and that's after all taxes, insurance, 401k, HSA, any other stuff like that. And so our surplus amount, what we had left over for the month, was $1,368. What did we do with that? We printed out wedding photos. Yes, our wedding from almost 8 years ago. Yeah, we printed those photos. So $37 for that. Brett bought me flowers for my birthday, and those were $22 from Kroger. I love Kroger flowers, by the way. IKEA, I don't remember. We bought some things, some storage stuff. And I bought a big mirror, but I think I paid for that myself. Anyway, IKEA. Dribble Up is some automated soccer ball app thing that this is the last month we're paying for it for my nephew. I need to make a note to cancel that. Cancel. And then $115 at Target, and I cannot tell you what this was. I don't remember. I think we just bought a bunch of weird shit that we needed or didn't need, and $115. I just put it in the surplus because I couldn't be bothered. Whatever. So our January goal results. Don't go over grocery or restaurant budget. I went over both. Lower kids budget for January. So it has been $100 regularly, and then $200 for months that are a holiday month where I want to do something a little extra special for them, or $100 extra for a birthday month. And it was kind of getting a little out of hand. Nothing crazy. It's near my kids. It's nice to spend our money on them. we'll do that forever, I'm sure. But that's what that is. We only did 40 out of 50. So I lowered that budget and we went under the budget. So that was nice. And then my goal was to put $1,500 to savings, and we did not do that. I didn't write that in before, but I put $1,000 in our savings account. So, I still call it a win. Still didn't have nothing to put in our savings, and we still had money. So for February, my goals are, I'm again going to try don't go over grocery or restaurant budget. And that could either look like setting it a little higher so that we are being realistic with ourselves, or just trying to not go out to eat as often. And I think it'll be a combination of both that we do. And then save $1,500 since I didn't last month. And then file taxes and find a professional for 2022. With having my business that's making more money every year, I think I've finally gotten to a spot where I'm like, okay, I'm paying people sometimes for contracted things, and I'm taking in a lot more freelance work and things like that. And then Brett does some vintage reselling that he will have to account for this next year. I think it might be wise for us to find a tax professional to file our taxes instead of using TurboTax, which hasn't really been bad in the past for us. And this year, even when I have preliminarily filed it, it hasn't been bad. So, but I just want to make sure that we're not doing something totally crazy that we shouldn't do, because we have had that come back for just a mess up that I did, and it wasn't fun, and I don't want that to happen. So we'll try to find a tax professional for that. But besides that, that's all I have for you guys today. I hope that you learned something from watching this, or you found a different way you could tweak your budget. If you like videos like this, be sure to give me a thumbs up, subscribe. I would love to have you stick around. And then you can find me on the internet at The Pretty Plus on Instagram, Pinterest, Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok. And as always, I'm on my blog, theprettyplus.com. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.